Hello guys, how you doing? My name is Francisco and today I'll be talking to you guys about my recent restaurant review of Olive Garden, the one located by Fashion Square Mall. The exact address is 3675 East Colonial Drive, Orlando, Florida. I visited this location Tuesday, November 27th at around 1:20 p.m. The host was Bon and our server was Jonathan. So to start off with the website, it is a very detailed website. The colors are very vibrant. Everything's laid out perfectly. You know, it has like a good flow. The website has a good flow. They start off with talking about their duos, their lunch duos and dinner duos, which are their specials. They also say, you know, if you join their e-club, you can get a free appetizer. I'm already part of the e-club, so I already have an appetizer. So just to backtrack a little bit, I picked this restaurant because I love Olive Garden. It has been my go-to restaurant for a long time now, but instead of picking something new, I chose this one because I always go just to eat and then leave right away. I never actually observe things how I was doing during this project. But now back to the website. Yeah, the website is laid out perfectly. Everything's very clear. You know, if you're looking for a job, there's a tab for that. If you're looking for offers, gift cards, specials, the menus, you can even order online through this website. I can't see how they could possibly improve on this website. What made me go for lunch was basically that lunch dual special that they have starting at $6.99. And I really thought I wanted that until I showed up, and then I was like, I'm just gonna get the usual chicken Alfredo that I always get. It's the best thing ever. The location itself is very easy to get to because I know where it's at already. But there is a tree which I've never noticed before. I noticed now because I was actually looking out for these things. There's actually a tree right by the sign. So until you pass the tree, you won't really see the Olive Garden sign. And for some people who are actually looking for the restaurant that don't know where it's at, that tree might cause a little bit of an accident because as soon as you pass the tree, you'll see the sign and you have to brake hard and make a right. And if there's people behind you, which is always a busy street, that could potentially cause an accident. At the restaurant itself, on the menu, everything was the same as online. All the specials were offered at the same price. There's some restaurants that raise prices in certain areas. For example, the one by Florida Mall, since it has a very large tourist population, then they just increase the prices. But since I didn't go to that one, I wasn't able to see that. But the prices online were the prices in person. The outside of the restaurant was very clean. The parking lot, not a single cigarette butt in sight. The windows were streak free. Parking lot was, like I said, marvelous. For the first time ever, though, I did experience some problems with finding parking. It was kind of busy at the moment, so I had to park a little bit far and do some walking in order to get it, but it was not really that big of a deal. It might be a big of a deal for a handicapped person since there was only one available, so it was a pretty packed time when I went. The hostess area was very spacious. Everything was organized, clean, dusted. As soon as I walked in, I was greeted by the host, Bon. I'm sorry about that, Bon. She greeted my mother and I. And everything was so pleasant. The overall appearance of the restaurant was great. Everything was neat where it's supposed to be. Not a single straw on the floor. Everything looked like it was just vacuum. The music was nice. The aura was good. The server, Jonathan, that was the name of our server, he was very knowledgeable of the menu. For example, my mom ordered a seafood Alfredo, but he quickly told us that there's a difference between the seafood Alfredo and the shrimp Alfredo, and he clarified that for us. And my mom actually meant to say shrimp Alfredo, so that was a good clarification and avoid problems and avoid losing time having to redo the food over and over. Um, what he tried to upsell at first was the wine. He tried to upsell the wine, but we don't drink that much, so we don't drink at all actually. So we didn't upsell the wine. The food did arrive in a timely manner within 25 minutes, which is appropriate because they make everything from scratch. The server did not make us feel rushed at all. Everything flowed smoothly. The menu selection, there's a lot of things you could pick from, and everything's pasta related, which obvious because it's an Italian restaurant, that's what they focus on. So I've always been pretty pleased with the selection that I have, but even if I'm trying to look for something else, I always steer my way back to the chicken Alfredo. Overall, the food presentation, I rated a 10 out of 10 because it was just marvelous. It was everything. The plate was hot, the food was hot, the chicken was good, it wasn't overcooked, and it was just steamy right off the bat. So it was amazing. The price is pretty good for the pasta. I was so full to the point that I couldn't even drive home. My mother had to drive me home because I just couldn't. So, yes, the price is definitely worth, and the service. The service and the food combined is definitely worth the price. What I loved a lot, which I don't see in many restaurants, is the manager actually came around to every single table asking if everything was all right. That is something that if more restaurants actually did, things will be smoother in the restaurant industry. Overall, it was a great experience. Everything was perfect. I usually don't look out for these things because I just go eat and leave. But for this project, I looked into more details and I couldn't find a single. The only thing that I could say negative was that tree. As soon as that tree gets removed, it'll be perfect. If somebody that doesn't go for a long time doesn't remember where it's at, it might be difficult to find. But overall, on the outside, the flowers were all the bushes were cut. The flowers looked beautiful. Everything was perfect, perfect, perfect. My name is Francisco Almanzar, and this has been my restaurant review of Olive Garden, located by Fashion Square Mall. Thank you.